Hi, I'm Paul Brusso with Florida Bass Fishing Guide US. Today I'm going to show you how to rig a Carolina rig. For the Carolina rig, you're going to need an egg sinker like this. This is a 3/4 ounce egg sinker, barrel swivel, and the barrel swivel size is up to you, but this is the size I like to use. And most of the times in the Carolina rig, I use a smaller either 1/0 or 2/0 hook. The thinner wire gauge allows easier penetration into the bass's mouth, and you really need that with the line stretch in deep water. So I like to use a thinner gauge wire, and this is a 2/0 Gamakatsu. And then you also need a bead. What the bead does is prevent the egg weight from hitting your knot and smashing your knot and making a weak spot on your line. Anyways, the first thing you do, when I've got on a Carolina rig, I like to use a 7-foot rod. Some people go as much as 8 foot. It's just through the years I've used a 7-foot. This happens to be a Fenwick Legacy rod. It's an older rod with the Abu Garcia reel. And first thing I do is you'll need a length of leader. The length of the leader depends on just the fish have to tell you. But I typically start with 2.5 feet, so it's about that much, and I'll just take some of the line off my reel and just clip some off. Okay, so now I've got a leader cut off. Once I got the leader cut off, what I like to do is thread the egg sinker on, and then the egg sinker is the first thing to go on your line. That's followed up with a bead, with the red bead. I think they make them in different colors. It's just the red is very common. Then I tie on, and I just use an improved clinch knot. I tie on the barrel swivel. Always lube your line. It's a little bit of saliva will help it keep it from burning. I take about 8 to 10 twists in the line. Feed the line through and go back to the original loop. I lube it again, then I clench the line between my teeth and cinch up on the line. At the same time I'm pulling the tag. Now on the tag on a Carolina rig, it's really important to leave quite a bit of extra. It's just because of the tendency of this knot to slip a little bit. It will hold pretty good, but I always like to leave the tag. The fish isn't even hitting up here, so it really doesn't make that much of a difference. The next step is to take your leader and thread it through the other end of the barrel swivel. Again, tie an improved clinch knot. I'll go a little bit quicker this time. Make sure your knot's nice and tight. Again, leave plenty of tag on your leader as well as your lead line, your regular line. Then finally, on the end of your leader, you tie on your 2/0 hook. This one happens to be the Gamakatsu 2/0 offset hook. I always use on my worms offset hooks. Again, my favorite knot, just because it's so quick, is the improved clinch knot. Down on this end, I like to leave a little bit less tag, just because the fish can't feel that, and it could keep them from really swallowing. My favorite all-around Carolina lure is the Zoom June bug trick worm. Florida June bug just happens to be a real good color. Basically, it's purple with green fleck. This one is the 7-inch version. That's my favorite size as well. They do make a bigger one, and it's just a straight tail, kind of a do-nothing worm. It's loaded with salt. Okay, and you just rig it similar to this Texas rig. You start with the tip of the hook going through the worm, coming out about a 1/4 inch down through the worm's body. Again, you pull straight through, and pull it up, the worm's head up through the, above the eye, through the eye. That's what happens. Then you rotate it 180 degrees. Once you rotate, you find the bend in the hook, mark it with your thumb right where the bend is. And that's about where you want to put the hook back through. Now with the offset hook, I always come all the way through, and then notice I've set it all the way through, and I lift up just a little bit, and basically now I've got a weedless worm, which is covered with just a little bit of plastic, so when you set that hook, it doesn't have to pull through all that plastic, and you'll get the hook set. All that force that you're exerting goes right into the fish's mouth. So let's look at the entire rig. Reel up my line. Again, the egg sinker, the bead, followed by the barrel swivel, down with about 2 to 3 feet of line, down to your lure at the end. Again, I use the Zoom trick worm. I just love that bait. I love it with Texas rig as well. Fish are bigger. I'll tend, in a location, I'll tend to go with a bigger worm, but in this case we're fishing the 7-inch. This thing is just incredible. Okay, that's how you rig up a Carolina rig. Now I'm going to show you just how to work it just real quick. Your cast is traditionally an overhead cast, and right here I'm really not in the Carolina rigging area. Actually, it's January in Florida, and we're working shallow water, but I wanted to get this video going to show you how to do a Carolina rig. It works when a cold front comes through. This rig works really well. Also in the summer when the fish are located off some deep water structure, points, humps in the middle of the lake, this is a great outfit. Anyways, you do a typical normal overhand cast, bring the rod back about 90 degrees. This is all in one motion. And what happens is the weight will load the rod, then you push it forward and release it in the line. So let's do it all in one motion. Here we go. And you just release the line. And with that weight, that lure goes a mile. Now my favorite, when I'm in deep water, my favorite way to work it, a lot of people like to work it straight up and down. I tend to work it more sideways with a sideways pull. It just seems like the bait stays down closer to the bottom. I might get hung up in here because this is a particular work here. So as slow as I would pull, when you feel a fish load up on it, or you feel a bump or a load, you just reel down on it, and you set the hook just a conventional overhead style. Or if you feel the fish pull one way, just always pull the opposite way of where the fish is pulling. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned a little bit about how to rig and work a Carolina rig. Again, please come back to my website. I've got quite a few more videos, and a lot of good tips on that website. Again, it's www.floridabassfishing.us. Okay, we'll see you.